All right, good afternoon, everybody. Let's make sure this here syncs up. It's like it's going to. It did. Great. All right, everybody. So we are live, obviously, from the office today. We've got shoot, where did that go? We've got an enhanced risk for severe weather today, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I want to go ahead and jump right to what's starting to catch my attention already here. And that is these not yet severe, but could be severe soon thunderstorms. These are down here in Louisiana and East Texas, and we are using the Radar Omega application right now. None of these are severe warned yet, but there are a couple that are strong. They do have special weather statements on them, and for some reason the map is not loading here. There we go. This one here near Lake Charles and this one back here near Baytown and Port Arthur have my eye, as does this one up here near Alexandria. So we've got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and zoom out and take a little bit of a bigger picture here before we start paying too much of attention to that. These green areas here, these are flash flood warnings here in parts of Arkansas. So we could see some flash flooding, mainly from, well, that big rain shield right here that's been persistent throughout the day. These two blue areas are mesoscale discussions. We'll talk about that in a minute, but essentially these areas here and here are being considered for probably tornado watches here by the Storm Prediction Center. This one here, I believe, is a 60%, yeah, 60% chance at a tornado watch, and this one down here is a 40% chance of either type of watch. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove those real quick, and I want to show you the risk for severe weather before I go too far in depth here. So here's our enhanced risk for severe weather, primarily over western and central Mississippi. Northeast Louisiana and Southeast Arkansas are included, but again, not really too terribly concerned about these areas. I believe that this area right here, Vicksburg, Jackson area that I've just circled in white there, is probably going to have the highest tornado potential, but there is a chance maybe for a stronger tornado or two here. But again, I just don't, folks, I'm not sure what to think of this event. I'll pull up, let's pull up some surface observations here. I'm just not super hot on this event, and that's not me um, being that way because, uh, oops, because I'm not there. It's me being that way because I'm not super hyped about this event. So let's go here. Hang on, let me fix this real quick. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at the mesoanalysis here and look at surface observations. We see 80 over 60, 80 over 64. I wonder if that's wrong. 74 over 66, 77 over 64. So we do definitely have some moist, warm air in effect here. Hold on, let me get this. This thing's flickering on my end. There we go. Mesoanalysis does show a somewhat favorable area here. Yeah, with this, this is satellite here. We'll look at this on radar Omega 2, but this broken up area here is getting some surface heating. I'm not too hot on this event, but I do think that a chance for a couple of tornadoes is definitely not out of the question. We've got another special weather statement here on radar Omega now near Jackson. That's that little blue box. So we will go ahead real quick and let's see here. We'll go ahead real quick and take a peek at the models before we go into any sort of radar breakdown. I'm not sure how long this stream is. I'm waiting to hear from Drew with when we're starting our radar Omega stream here. So a little bit up in the air here, how long we're going to be streaming. Just trying to fill the void here for him a little bit. So we're going to look at the 18ZH We're totally going to cheat. There's better ways like surface observations and such to forecast this event, but I really want to just see what the model says. So this model is actually indicating maybe some supercells forming, or this cluster of cells here forming near Baton Rouge. Now again, this is a model, and this is at 4 p.m. Central today. All times I'm going to be talking about today are in Central. So 4 p.m. Central today, showing numerous scattered storms. I would call them semi-isolated, even back here toward Lake Charles. A couple of areas of interest there. I'm not sure what the tornado threat's going to be on them. It's going to depend heavily on if we have some surface wind backing, I do believe. We'll go ahead and run this model forward a little bit farther. It does also show some isolated cells in northwest Mississippi. I don't think the tornado threat's going to be very prime with those. But as we move into evening, about 7 p.m., we've got a massive cluster of cells. This is why I'm thinking today might not be as hot as forecast, because look at how quickly we get a messy storm mode. So these clusters of cells are less likely to produce tornadoes than isolated cells. So it is possible that we could see some tornadoes today, maybe even a few strong ones, but I think that they're going to mostly be few and far between, and if they are present, they'll probably be embedded in this line here, which we're modeling here at about 10 p.m. Again, we'll find out shortly here in the next couple of hours if that prediction is accurate or not, but you'll see that this line eventually matures and then starts to decay as it moves further east. Here it is at about noon tomorrow at a Pensacola to Atlanta line before moving off to the east. So that's a look at the model run there over the next couple of hours and what we're kind of expecting. But this orange area here, that's the enhanced risk. That's the highest likelihood of any tornadoes out of this today. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at radar a little bit in detail here. And if any of you folks are living in these areas that are affected by this, definitely let me know down there in the chat, and we'll try to pay extra attention to them. So right now we're looking at reflectivity and lightning. We're down here in southern Louisiana. And again, I'll leave this day one outlook on. So if you're in this yellow area, that's the slight risk. You've got a chance at severe storms and tornadoes too, but it's mostly in this yellow enhanced risk. This green marginal risk, that's a significantly lower chance. But you can see here over the past, let's see, how long does this loop go? The past 45 minutes or so, we've had numerous cells here develop. Particularly interested here and here. Now, these storms here near Lafayette and New Iberia, those don't really have my eye as much. They're pretty clustered together, but this one north of Lake Charles and this one back here near Galveston does have my eye. Let's go ahead and turn on the METARs. I want to see what the surface winds and such look like. Oh boy. I always forget how to do this. You would think I wouldn't because I use this every day. All right, give that a minute to populate. So let's go ahead and zoom in on one of these METARs. So it's going to be really tough to see here because it's so small on your screen here. But we got 77, the top number. That's our temperature. 69, that's our dew point in green there. So if you folks are following along on the Radar Omega app, that's where we're getting that from. Then we've got this wind barb. It is showing a south-southeast wind. More south than anything. But if we look out ahead of it, a lot of south winds here. Maybe some southeast turning. So we could get some backing with these surface winds. That basically means, to put it simply, we could get a little bit of enhanced vorticity, maybe more of a tendency for these storms to start to spin, which of course would be a rotating storm and be a problem for any potential tornadoes. So this is a special weather statement here. It's in effect for another 25 minutes or so. Wind gust of 50 miles per hour. It's a storm near Longville, Louisiana, 8 miles west of Dry Creek, and it's moving north at only 45 miles per hour. And I say only because usually in Dixie Alley they move quicker. But really, I'm not. This looks like a pretty rural area. Longacre, Marquis. These are all probably unincorporated areas. Yeah, these are all just like little semi-residential neighborhood-looking type things. But this blue box here, I'm not too concerned about that. Nor am I this one. It's just something that we're keeping an eye on. There is some lightning in this one. Looks like the special weather statement on that will expire soon. But these are pretty significant lightning produced. Up here, we've got a new scan coming in. Okay. I want to see what it looks like. Okay. Yes, new radar scan just came in, folks. Let's go ahead and take a peek at that. Not a very significant lightning producer up there, though, on the northern one. Yeah, I don't see anything that's catching my eye on these at all. Let's go ahead here and take a look at the Jackson radar site because we do have that special weather statement for the Jackson, Mississippi area. Yeah, a couple of pop-up storms here. Right now, this one's a pretty intense lightning producer. It's just west of Brookhaven, and then this one near Brandon is producing some lightning as well. Check this out, though, folks. Look at the strikes on this. This is just a tiny little cell, and we've got a ton of strikes on it. With Radar Omega, we can look here in 3D to kind of see the precipitation with height. And let's see here. Let's put this in motion. I wonder if this is one we're going to want to watch. We're going to be watching this open warm sector here. Over the next couple of hours. Yeah, this little storm right here is just now starting to produce some lightning. Watch that there. Just producing lightning on the last couple of scans. That's typically an indication that this storm is strengthening. So I'm going to be watching that one here over the next couple of minutes. Eventually may make it up there into the Hazelhurst area. This one here near Brandon. It's going to cross near I-20 near Palahatchee. Not a very significant lightning producer, though. What's this thing statemented for? 30 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hails. Nothing concerning there. Let's take a look here real quick at these flash flood warnings as well before we I'll go through the chat here, try to answer any questions. Let's see. We've got a pretty mature shield of precipitation here with this line of stronger storms down here on the south side of it. We put this into motion over the past little bit here. And you can see we do have some lightning in there, so there is some convection going on with these storms, but they're mainly dumping a lot of rain. So these flash flood warnings are in effect for several hours, too many to list. But a lot of them go until 6 p.m. tonight. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain have fallen, and an additional 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area. So that's these green boxes here. Let me try to increase the contrast on that a little bit so you folks can see better. Go ahead and change the background here real quick so that we can differentiate, because I know the greens are blending together a little bit. I'm going to adjust my warning settings. All right, you can see these green boxes a little bit better now. Those are those flash flood warnings. Basically, everybody that's northwest of Little Rock, you've got a flash flood warning, it seems like. So real quick, folks, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and put our national radar composite on, and then we'll take a look at satellite and such. But I just want to mention that I see a lot of people from all over the country in the chat. The only places that we're expecting severe weather today are right here. These pretty colors. So Oklahoma, North Carolina, no, you folks, we won't be focusing on that at all. We're this area right here in these pretty colors, greens, oranges, and yellows. Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. You guys are the primary threat for severe weather today. Not really expecting severe storms anywhere else today. So hopefully that answers a lot of those questions that are getting put in there. But if we look at the national radar composite here, we can see that really all of our activity is confined south of I-20 here. Baton Rouge here just went under another special weather statement. Let's see, what do they got? Winds to 40 miles per hour for Baton, just west of Baton Rouge. Let's see here. Hang on here. Let me get this chat loaded in. But yeah, thanks everyone for following along today. Waiting to hear from Drew to see what our plan is here. We're gonna probably be streaming with Radar Omega here shortly. Oh yeah, we have a so folks, what's going on with my vehicle? I've got like $4,000 now worth of repairs to do on this thing. So there's a big rumor that I'm not out there today because my wife left me. That's the current rumor that was initiated by another storm chaser that is not very professional. And no, I'm not out there. First of all, she can leave me all she wants. I'll still be out there, and she knows that because I missed her birthday for a tornado. I'll miss the divorce for a tornado too. No, I'm not out there, folks, because it costs a lot of money to repair these cars when you're putting 100,000 miles on them a year. And it's not ready to be picked up. I've been promised and promised and promised tomorrow, like, and then tomorrow, and it's tomorrow. It's never fixed. So yeah, it's irritating. So basically, because I wasn't called yesterday and told that it would not be ready tomorrow, I did not equip a backup vehicle. And at the end of the day comes along, I'm like, hey, where's my car? And they're like, oh, it's not done yet. I'm like, you're freaking kidding me. Like, you're literally costing me thousands of dollars by making me sit at home. So I am a little bit irritated today, and I have a reason to be, but I would have been down here with a backup vehicle had I equipped it yesterday like I had planned, but I didn't because I was told the car would be done. So I did physically go put my eyes on this car because that was my thing yesterday. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get my stuff and I need to see this car. Like, I need to make sure that it's getting repaired. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be done tomorrow. They're just all they got left is suspension work. So I think all that's holding them up right now is just getting an alignment done on it. So we should be good hopefully soon. Otherwise, we're gonna have a pretty serious problem on our hands because they're literally gonna cause me to go into bankruptcy here by having to sit at home. You know, you you can't make money in a business where you're required to transport yourself all over when your assets being tied up here. That's for sure. Let's see here. So with that said, I want to talk about a winter weather threat that I will be chasing tomorrow, regardless if that car is done or not. So even if that car isn't done, we're going to have the potential for some winter weather up here. And I don't need, I'm not going to be going far from home, so we can utilize a different backup. Let's see here. I want to turn the winter storm severity index on because northeastern Iowa, southwest Wisconsin might get slammed by some pretty decent snow tomorrow. Why am I drawing a blank on how to do this? I use this every day. You would think I would have this figured out by now. Sorry about my phone dinging, folks. I'm just trying to kind of remain alert here for something that I expect to be coming in. Coughing, you know, word that my car might be done. Anyway, so this is the winter storm severity index. Let me turn off these watches and warnings and advisories here, folks. So this is the winter storm severity index. Hopefully you can see that okay. These oranges here, these indicate moderate impacts. This is basically a computer model or a guide. I believe it's from the Weather Prediction Center, WPC, from these folks. And it's essentially calculating the impacts of a winter storm. You know, what is the chances of, you know, basically, quite frankly, folks, like if you want me to put this in very, very like ignorant terms, it's basically determining or trying to give us a kind of an abstract view at how much is this winter storm going to screw everybody over? I mean, I think that's probably the best way to explain it. So there's a moderate impact scale here, which means hazardous driving conditions, use extra caution while driving, closures and disruptions to infrastructure may occur. Basically, what that's meaning is it's trying to, the brighter the color, the more chances that everything's going to get screwed up. Commute, travel, school, roads, all that. So power lines, power outages. So everybody here in these minor impacts, you can expect basically poor winter driving conditions. Nothing too concerning. Everybody here in this yellow shaded area, so basically Green Bay, Door County, Wisconsin, all the way back here, almost to Des Moines, right? So you've got these minor impacts expected. What has changed since yesterday is we have a large moderate impact area now from Olwine, basically northeast of Waterloo, all the way up here to almost the Oshkosh, Wisconsin area. You've got those moderate impacts, and that does include Madison. So I think tomorrow we're either going to set up, well, we're going to set up somewhere here between the Dells and Madison, I think. That's probably going to be the most impactful event because we need to be along an interstate. So quite frankly, if there's going to be mass chaos during a winter storm, it's going to be on I-94 or I-90, 39. That's Wisconsin for you. If we go ahead and look at our, we'll turn off our severity index. That is available in Radar Omega here. And definitely recommend using that. This is our probability of 4 or more inches of snow. We've got a high risk, folks, but it's not a high risk for severe weather. You can see this big purple, wow, that is, I will not tell you what shape that reminds me of. That is awful. But anyway, this is a 4-inch high-risk snowfall total. Dodgeville, Spring Green, Reedsburg, Wisconsin Dells, all the way up to Appleton. So these areas here are basically Madison and points north of there, and then northeast, like Highway 151. You folks are probably going to get dumped on tomorrow with a winter storm. Now, winter storm watches are in effect. Winter storm winter weather advisories are also in effect. No winter storm warnings. I don't know if we're going to get winter storm warnings or not. If we do, we'll probably get them issued at some point during this live stream. Let me go ahead and turn those weather alert settings back on. So you can see these blue counties right here, these blue colored, blue shaded counties. I'll go ahead and take that off. There we go. The blue shaded counties are under winter storm watches for the next, let's see here, from late tonight through Thursday afternoon. Let's see. Snow accumulation is 3 to 6 inches, winds as high as 35 miles per hour. These purple and pink counties, these are your winter weather advisories from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a model run, and I'll leave those weather alerts on there. Let's take a look at a model run here and try to figure out when to expect the snow. What am I doing here? So we will be out chasing this. I can take a backup vehicle with this with minimal equipment. It's just so regardless, if they don't have that fixed today and it's fixed tomorrow, so be it. But we will be leaving bright and early. In fact, it may even be out tonight. I don't know. Let's load up. We'll use the HRRR model. Well, hold on. How far are we loaded up? Yeah, we're good enough. So you can see here as we move this slider forward, we've got some rain creeping in. Now this is precipitation type, P-type. So pink is mixing and icing. The greens, yellows, those are rains, and then they're different intensity of rain. And then of course the blue, that's winter precip, snow. So we've got some rain moving into the southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and eastern Iowa areas by about 2 a.m. this morning. Things are going to start to get a little bit messy here as we go about 6 a.m. We've got some mixing or some of the sleet type precipitation probably creeping into southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa. And then as we move toward 8 a.m., we've got a changeover of snow happening here. Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, maybe the northwest side of Madison, the Dane County region. It's a very populated area, folks. I'm sure we have some people on from there. They're going to start getting it here about 8 a.m. That'll be that changeover from mixed to snow. And then we should be pure snow from, let's see here, west of Madison will definitely be under almost all snow by about 10 a.m. And then by, it looks like about lunchtime or so, I would say that everybody's changing over to snow. And that snow should continue here for a lot of Wisconsin until maybe 5 p.m. Now, this model is indicating that we could have a changeover back to some rain. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would probably expect most of that to remain as snow. And then probably going to be exiting the region completely by about 8 or 9. So this is going to be a relatively short burst here of snow. And I don't think that it's necessarily going to be life-changing or anything here, but I do think that we could see a couple of interstate issues. Hold on, folks. Okay. So here we have the loop of that going. Let's go ahead and check out our chat. But thank you for joining, everybody. I do appreciate it. Feel free to like and share the video. Trying to scroll through the chat. Let's see here. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look back here to our national radar composite as we wait for Drew to schedule a live stream. Hint. Yep, no severe warnings right now. I'm not seeing any. Let's see. Numerous flash flood warnings, though. A ton of them. Arkansas. More Arkansas. A couple new flash flood warnings getting issued. Let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite right now. And, thank you, Alexandra, for the super chat there. Let me get the day one outlook off of here. Oh, I don't want natural color, geo color. Trying to find the most visually appealing satellite view here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into a loop for the past, I think, about 4 hours here. This is going to take a minute here to load up. You can see that we do have some breaks in the clouds, and this is what's going to be heightening our instability today, right here in northern Louisiana, all the way up there north of Jackson, Mississippi. If you watch that white circle, that was cloudy this morning, but the clouds are clearing out. Which is indicating that that area is probably destabilizing quite a bit. Let me go ahead here and try to pull up the Storm Prediction Center's website. And thank you, Christina, as well for the super chat. You guys are the first couple super chats of the month. Mesoscale discussions remaining in effect. Let's go back to the composite. Folks, I'll give you a tour of the website here in a minute. I did fix that. Saw somebody ask about that just a little bit ago. Since we're kind of just hanging out at this point. We'll take a look ahead at the future here in a moment too. Let me get that website pulled up for you. All right, folks, if you go to seethestorm.com, gosh dang it, it is cropped. This is what the website will look like. Scroll down here. We have all of our social media links. I did pin this in the chat. Thank you, David, as well. Facebook, Instagram. I don't really use Instagram, but someday maybe I will. Twitter and YouTube, obviously. Here's links to find out a little bit about us. We do have an option here for you guys to use PayPal as an alternative. Some people don't like using the super chat because of the percentage that YouTube keeps. That bothers some people. So this is your alternative. You can utilize PayPal. You can click on other ways to help as well. We've got people asking all the time if we do Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. We now do all three. Of course, not demanding anybody do that, but for those folks that are trying to support as well, those are your options there. Got a link here to become a YouTube member. So if you want to join as a member and you're on iOS, go ahead and check it out here. Because on iOS, I don't think you can do it from the app. A link to our Discord server, which is pretty busy, and then you can click here to shop our store. If you go down here, we've got Radar Omega links, a link to the website. You can download it for Android or iOS, and then, of course, a link right here to the Radar Omega YouTube channel, and we're going to try that right now and see if Drew has scheduled a stream, which I hope he has. He might not have by now. It's not, gosh dang it. Okay. Let's see here. If you do need to contact us, if you have any suggestions, we do have a form here that you can fill out. It does go directly to my email. It takes me a few days to respond, but I will get to it. And if you go here to our store, this is our new store. It's a little bit out of order. It's a little bit messy. We're trying to clean that up a bit, having some problems doing so. Every time I think it's cleaned up, it reverts back. But we do have some official merchandise now. It's a little bit nicer on the store. We've got our I Love Weather shirt, which we've actually been designing, and I'll show you folks in the Adobe Illustrator file. It was created months ago. I know a lot of people are releasing their I Love Weather shirts now, like 5 YouTube channels have. Might even be more. But that is ours. It's $24. I make $5 on the shirt. I'm not getting rich off of it. You got to pay shipping. But other than that, we do have some shirts on here that are kind of neat, and we are trying to add some more. So if anybody's got merchandise ideas or designs, definitely get a hold of us on the website as well. Let me see if this is, just want to make sure I'm not missing any warnings, and I'm not. Let's take a look here into the future, I think would be a good idea to do right now. We're going to use the Storm Prediction Center's website for this, though. What in the world is going on here? There we go. The only reason I'm going to use the SPC's website is because I don't want to... Actually, no, we can do this. I forgot about this. We have the technology here in Radar Omega Studio here to open up a new window. Give this a second. My computer is pretty well bogged down at the moment. We are running a lot on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take all of this information off of the screen. Normally, this is something that I would have done prior to showing you folks. Whoops. And we're going to remove the radar as well. So I'm just going to pick a random site way out here. Go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's severe weather risk. There really isn't much of it at all, but it's worth noting. So here's our marginal risk. Big, scary marginal risk tomorrow. Very low chance of tornadoes. This is basically for that line today that's going to form. It should continue tonight, but I don't think it's going to be anything too severe tomorrow. That's why they've only opted for a marginal risk. And a lot of this is going to be impeded by moisture. So the reason we're not going to see this risk farther up north toward Birmingham and Atlanta, even Montgomery, is because there's not going to be, the dew points aren't going to be high enough, basically. So we're going to be missing a lot of ingredients for severe weather. If we go farther north here, you've got another marginal risk for severe weather, surprisingly, here for parts of Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. Very surprised at that being added, quite frankly. Basically, just a chance at maybe some wind. I'm not really seeing much of a tornado threat up there. So very small chance at some severe weather here. And you can see our winter weather alerts here off to the northwest of that. So that will be on the basically the warm side of that system. I think we've got a day 3 as well. Let me see if I can pull that up. Maybe not. I don't know. Hold on here. We do. Look at that. We've got a day 3 marginal risk as well for parts of the North Florida Peninsula, southeast. That's Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. This southern area tip of South Carolina. And if anybody here is in southeast Alabama, southeast of Dothan, I would like to inform you that all 6 people that live in this little corner of the state, you're under that marginal risk as well. Maybe 10, I don't know. There can't be that many people that live there. But again, this will be kind of a separate event. I think this is going to be a lower end event as well. I'm not really expecting any of these to be any sort of outbreak scenarios or anything. Whoops, what am I doing here? Close. Get that off screen. Let's see, who do we have in chat? Anything in chat here? Folks, I'm starting to get ready for lunch here. Should have probably got that before I sat down for this. Oh, we've got a new day 1 convective outlook out. Let me see if there's any changes to that here on the other screen. It'll take a couple of minutes for that to load into Radar Omega. Apparently, Biden's coming to Madison tomorrow. Wonder if that'll get canceled with the snow. Hold on here. I am trying to get see if we have any changes to this outlook. Trying to get a little bit early here for you. Why is this not? Let's see if I got it here. Okay, so doesn't look like any change. All right, here we go. Let me pull this up. Sorry, just trying to make sure that I've got the latest here. This is our latest severe weather outlook tweeted out by the Storm Prediction Center. Nothing. Let's see if we compare that. Yeah, I don't think there's any change. We'll confirm that here We'll confirm that. Waiting for our first warnings of the day to get issued. All right, let me get some information here, tweet it out. Maybe. All right. So we'll go ahead and take another detailed look at this here. I'm going to go back and scan the chat here in a minute, but I'm trying to get this. I have to do my own social media here. I'm a one-man show. So I want to get this link tweeted back out. There we go. Okay, all right, so that takes care of that. Let me try to go up here and see what we've got in the chat box. I think we've got almost exclusively members in the chat. It seems like everybody in the chat right now has got a member icon by them. That's kind of cool. Thank you for being channel members, folks. By the way, I'm watching this radar loop, seeing a couple of special weather statements starting to pop up here in central Mississippi. We'll address those here in a minute. Are there any storm chasers live tonight? Probably not. I'm sure there are, but I don't really endorse a whole lot of people. There's a lot of drama in the storm chasing community, and people that you think are your friends are not your friends. So I try to not really endorse a whole lot of people. So I have no idea, folks. This is not, well, this is an enhanced risk event. This isn't anything this is not, Dixie Alley tornado outbreak scenario here. There is a potential. They've gone, 10% hatch with this possibility of a strong tornado or two based on probabilities, not necessarily that it's an outbreak scenario or anything, but we could see a couple of strong tornadoes, but I don't think that this is the event of the century or anything here. It could be wrong, but I do believe that today is going to be impeded a little bit by storm mode. Yeah, if you're in this area, make sure you've got your weather radios. That's a good point. I don't think this is going to go into the night too much. I think by about midnight, things will start to kind of wind down a bit. That severe weather threat will continue past midnight into tomorrow morning. But I think that the most severe part of this event is going to be from maybe 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then after that, it'll be a little bit more tame. But of course, we haven't really seen the event start yet. It's beginning to start. We're seeing these pop-up showers and storms here, but nothing's too robust yet. So once things start to get going and we see what the convective mode's going to be, whether we're going to have supercells or a line or what, or if the models are going to be accurate with what they were predicting, or if they were going to be not so accurate, once this event starts, we'll be able to answer a lot more of those questions. I don't want to give you any sort of false positives or negatives here. This one here near Baton Rouge is, that's kind of I see that mentioned in the chat a lot. That's just a big cluster. It's really not anything too concerning right now. But that could be a problem for Baton Rouge here in terms of torrential rainfall, it looks like. Let's look at that here on a higher resolution radar site. See if we've got any lightning in these storms. Probably do. Use the Slidell radar. We do. We've got a significant, pretty prolific lightning producer there moving into Baton Rouge. We'll go ahead and put that on loop. Special weather statement only on this storm, but Baton Rouge, you're about to get torrential rainfall here. How quick is the storm moving? 40. No, it's 35. Look at all this lightning, though, folks. Holy smokes. Look at all these lightning strikes that are in the core of the storm now. Wow. Looks like we might be about to get a new scan. Nope. Nope, not quite. Let me draw a storm track on this. Whoops, I just screwed that up. Sorry, folks. This computer is not, we may not be able to do any of this fancy stuff today. This computer is just having problem after problem today, and it is just beyond ridiculous. Just can't get anything to work today. Having some problems with touch input. Okay, it looks like we're not going to be drawing a storm track. Sorry about that, folks. I cannot get it to work today. It's not an app issue. It is a computer issue. We're trying to render these touches. And unfortunately, that's really all we can say right now. New scan coming in right there. The storm is starting to creep into Baton Rouge. Here's the city limits right there. So as this thing moves off to the northeast, Baton Rouge is about to get dumped on with absolute torrential rainfall, it looks like. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's look at these ones up here near Jackson. This is interesting here. You can see we've got all these little cells that are popping up here out ahead of any sort of line of storms. These things here could end up meaning business. Not really seeing any rotation. Maybe a little bit of weak mesocyclonic activity or a weak sort of spin in these storms, but these are not posing much of a tornado threat at the moment. Let's go ahead and get the, well, no, we'll leave that on. Let's let that run for a minute. I'm going to get the live stream here for Radar Omega, which I just now got posted here. Looks like we're going to be going live with Radar Omega at 3:15. 3:15 Central, that is. It's 2:13 Central. We're watching these storms here develop. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe a severe thunderstorm warning or two pops up. We haven't had any yet, but we could see a severe thunderstorm warning or two pop up in the next couple of minutes. Let's see here. Let me get this thing set up so when we end, it just goes right over. I think there's a way to do that. Gosh dang it. Hold on here, folks. Sorry. This is what I hate. Stuff doesn't work. Yeah, send a picture of this here to somebody. I'm trying to get this set up so that when we end the stream here, it'll just take us over to Drew's. Okay, so we just won't do that. All right, still no severe thunderstorm warnings on any of these. If anybody is actually, in this area that's getting rained on right now by any of these storms, let us know what you're seeing out there in the chat. I'd be interested to know. Really tough to see any sort of storm structure on the ground down there because of the trees. Trees, hills, it's when it comes to chasing down there. So, and anybody that's local is definitely aware of that. So it's see what's actually going on. Here's a bigger and positive view. Let's go ahead and see, do we have anything else going on anywhere? Not really. This big shield of rain, though, in parts of Arkansas is kind of interesting. That's been prompting flash flood warnings. All these green boxes you see are flash warnings. They're northwest of Little Rock. Torrential downpour. Yeah, Baton Rouge is getting a lot of lightning. These storms are pretty intense lightning producers. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to want to focus right here. I think this is going to be our main focus for the short term here. North Louisiana into central Mississippi. Let me go ahead and take off the enhanced risk overlay. They did not issue a tornado watch up here either. There's a 60% chance mesoscale discussion up in this area, and they did not issue one. I'm going to go back down here to the Jackson, Mississippi radar. In radar Omega here. Keep an eye on these storms right now, folks. The ones that I'm interested in are these weather statement ones. These are all forming out in this, we call this the open warm sector. It's 80, 66, 75, so it's nice and warm out there. It's ahead of the front and all that. Is this a new mesoscale discussion, or was it just not loading? Okay, never mind. Well, this is the old one, but they still haven't issued any watches or anything. While that is loading up, let me try to pull up. Let me pull up the video from a couple of weeks ago when we were down there in Orange. Seems like a lot of folks are asking about that. Try to pull up that 360 video where we basically drove right through the tornado, or the tornado drove across, I guess. It's probably a more accurate representation of that. trying to figure out where that's posted. I have to pull it off of my Twitter here. Give me a minute. This will take to find. We're gonna leave this radar view on. At least I thought I posted this here on Twitter. Maybe I haven't. Guess maybe I didn't. Maybe it was a Facebook exclusive. It must have been a Facebook exclusive. I hate Facebook. It is such a pile of trash. Their algorithm makes sense. You know, I'll post, you know, like a tornado warning or something, and it won't send out the notification until like 5 hours later, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? There's no storm. Yeah, I think I only posted this to Facebook. Maybe. Yeah, here it is. I don't know. Can I make this full screen? I don't even know how to use Facebook. I really don't. So I'm just going to play this off of Facebook because I don't know actually what computer I have this on. And I don't think it's this one. All right, so this is a 360 video. It's only obviously part of the 360, but this is when that tornado came running over us near Orange, Texas, back on I-10. Just to let's see, this posted the 28th, so it's about 2 weeks ago. And you're not going to see like an actual like cone tornado or anything, but basically the entire circulation of this tornado was like on the ground. The whole mesocycle and the updraft was like sitting on the ground. So there wasn't really a defined point. But you can actually see in this video right up here, there's debris falling all over the place. It's probably not showing well on the stream because we're just screen capturing. But there's debris, a ton of debris. There's rain curtains whipping around. Again, you can see the full resolution video on my Facebook page. And you can find links to that at seethestorm.com. But these rain curtains are falling here, going from right to left. And then just up here, we're going to actually see them switch. Now we've got these, if you watch the rain here at the ground, that's kind of indicating the surface wind. Now it's coming at us. This tornado is crossing pretty much right in front of us, where the center of circulation. There's some debris flying up here. And this pile is a power flash. Hang on, let me try to back that up. Why is this computer doing this? Watch right here down near this pilot side, bottom left, or right where my cursor is. There should be a power flash here in a moment. Yeah, right there. So that was the tornado actually crossing the interstate. So we're on the back half of the tornado. It's coming around. You can see all sorts of leaves and sticks and stuff. And this could have been a worst case scenario had there been more traffic on. Significant damage to these residential areas that were to the left and right of the highway. Again, this was near Orange, Texas. And you can see here, we were basically in that. Now we've got wind coming from behind. So these really quick surface wind changes are indicating the position of us to the tornado relative to each other. These people probably have no idea that they were like driving through a tornado. Semis just stopped in the middle of the road. And then we come up here. I don't know if it's in the video or not, but there was just a ton of debris on the road. But this is the area which it crosses. So we've actually got poles down over here, and a lot of trees are shredded up. But this is all like building debris and housing debris. Lots of insulation and such. That's not a tumbleweed. There's these little like balls. These little like scraggly like metal balls rolling around. They were barbed wire, like clusters of barbed wire, and I was afraid I was gonna end up hitting a chunk of barbed wire. New mesoscale discussions in effect. We'll wait for it to pop up here. It's for Mississippi. We'll wait for it to pop up on Radar Omega though. Let me pull up Radar Omega's tweets. So this is a really good animation here of the visible satellite that Omega just posted on Twitter. And visible satellite, of course, overlaid with the enhanced risk. So you can see that clearing. Never mind, you can't see my finger. You can see that clearing here in basically right here at the tri-state area, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, that we were talking about a little bit ago, overlaid there. That's going to be bringing some of that instability in over the next couple of hours. Already significantly building instability. We can look at the Mesoanalysis page from the Storm Prediction Center to see what our CAPE values are at. And of course, keep in mind that's right over the area where these storms are starting to develop. This is the Mesoanalysis page. It's a free tool from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's look at mixed, I don't want to do that. Composite indices, blah, blah, blah. Thermos, CAPE, surface-based. Surface-based CAPE, this is convective available potential energy. This is essentially the amount of energy in the air for these severe storms. 2,500 joules a kilogram, that's a lot. Now there's, other composite indices we got to look at here, but we've got quite a bit of instability that's starting to build here in southwest Mississippi. Some warm, moist air is building in as well. That warm, moist air is starting to build all the way up there toward the Memphis region. Those are signified here by these green colors. So we're getting our severe weather ingredients to fall into place. Now we just need some storms to actually develop. I'm not seeing it happening, though. I kind of would have thought that some of these would have been going severe by now. Actually, something just caught my eye. We'll take a look at it here. Notice how these storms here are not really clustering. I'll circle what I mean. These storms aren't really clustering. They're staying pretty independent, pretty isolated for the most part. So if we do have any sort of short-term severe threat, I think it's probably going to be from these storms out here in central Mississippi. They seem to be staying a little bit more independent from each other and not clustering together like we would expect to see with just a messy event. So I think that we're going to have a couple of hours here before things get going where we do maybe have a little bit of an increased tornado threat because of the fact that these are staying somewhat isolated. I'll put that national radar composite back on here so we can watch all the radar sites at once for a little bit. Go through the chat box here. All right, new mesoscale discussion popped up. So this is just a discussion from the National Weather, and it's not loading. Okay, SPC has not fully pushed that information out yet, I guess. We'll just see if we can do it this way. So this is just a discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. Possibility of watch issuance here in central and southwest Mississippi at 40%. Low top supercells are developing in northeast Louisiana and central Mississippi. While it's not imminent, trends are being monitored for a possible watch. A few low top supercells with broad mid-level rotation are visible from the Jackson radar site, being sampled by Mesoanalysis and the LIX. Is that Slidell? New Orleans or Slidell. 18Z sounding. So that's the 1 p.m. sounding. Basically, they sent a weather balloon up, and we're looking at the data from it. These cells are in an environment with weak to moderate buoyancy. That 1,000 to 1,500 J per kg or joules per kilogram of CAPE. We were just talking about that a minute ago. Modest deep layer shear, 20 to 25 knot effective bulk shear. So that's not super significant, but that is enough that we could squeeze out a couple of tornadoes. That's the wind shear. That's the turning of the winds, and of course the changing in wind speed with height. So in the short term, we expect storms to produce small hail and perhaps a damaging gust or two. At the moment, the modest low-level shear should keep the tornado threat limited, so I would agree with that. However, the tornado potential will likely increase into the later afternoon and evening as the mid-level trough approaches the region. The low-level and deep layer shear gradually increase. Watch issuance will probably not be needed in the near terms, but they'll be watching for a potential watch later this afternoon. That's a very thorough discussion, and I think that's spot on. That's this area here where all those storms are starting to fire. All right, what's the chat got going on here? The camera's flipped on this screen for some reason. I am probably going to have to go get something to eat here soon. So we are going to have studio coverage here. Myself and Drew are going to be doing some studio coverage on Radar Omega, Radar Omega's YouTube channel here shortly. At about 3:15. I'm going to try to get that linked up here so that it redirects, but I don't think it's going to. Gosh dang it. I'll be sharing that link to Radar Omega's YouTube channel here for the stream that will be upcoming as soon as toward the end of the stream. Let's, I suppose we could probably do some show and tell. Let's, I'm going to go through as we're doing this. I'm going to go through on my other monitor and try to find some storm photos and some videos here. We'll take a little break from the radar that occurred over the past, well, who knows how long. I have no rhyme or reason to this. I'm literally just going through my iCloud photos on the other screen. So first up, we have... God dang it. Why is this doing this? Like, Apple, like, Tim Cook, what the hell do you got going on here with this garbage? Somebody tag him. So this is a supercell, or a mesocyclone, well, mesocyclonic supercell. Look at the base of the storm. This was back right before there was a significant hail threat. And I was trying to get a specific shot with the camera here. This was McCook, Nebraska on June 9th. This was like the most pretty supercell I'd ever seen. I believe Brandon Kopic is actually standing in front of his car, and just a moment or two after I ended this video, a giant hailstone, like tennis ball size, fell like right there. And I told him he better get in his car and leave, and I left. And I left him there to get hit with hail. Let me see if I have an edited photo. Yeah, here's the edited photo. That is a very pretty storm. That was just a very photogenic supercell. Right off a highway, it's either 17 or 19. I think it's 17. It goes north out of McCook, Nebraska. Beautiful, beautiful supercell that was. That was at 8:45 in the afternoon or evening. I think I've got a video of it from farther away. I do. Here it is as it was moving over. It was starting to lose some of its structure. But you can see here, panning around, really pretty. Ton of storm chasers out on that. Let's see, if I just continue to scroll, I'm sure I'll find something. Here's some hail fog. This is pretty cool. This was a significant hailstorm on June 7th in Imperial, Nebraska. Gosh dang it. Look at the fog. This is literally fog because of the hail that had fallen on the ground. That's all hail. That's not snow or ice. This is June 7th. It was about 85 degrees here. Not kidding. It was 85 degrees. I remember specifically looking at the car thermometer. There's a what is that? A rainbow. That's the word. There's a rainbow back in there. But look at this. Look at this. There's just like 6 to 7 inches of Yeah, I didn't have a ruler, so I used my boot as a guide. But look at this. It looks like it just freaking snowed there. Significant hail fog. I actually almost got rear-ended being parked there. Somebody came up behind me and they were sliding all over the road. But I remember like almost going in the ditch because we hit this hail accumulation. There's that rainbow so quickly. Just slide all over the place. Let's find something. So we'll take a break here. We'll do show and tell for a couple of minutes. A little bit of a break from the severe weather coverage. This is probably one of my prettiest rainbow shots. This is a video. There was a photo taken here, but this was in it was either North Dakota or South Dakota. Very, very pretty rainbow actually back there in the hail. This was significant penny-sized hail that was falling. So the rainbow going back there into the hail core. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else I have. Again, just going through my iCloud photos here. No rhyme or reason. Here's when I absolutely destroyed the windshield. This was a big hailstorm on June 5th. This is June 6th at Safe Light. Just totally annihilated it. See, we're missing part of the plastic trim. This was softball size hail. And you can see this part of the car is just missing, this trim piece. Like, I don't know where it went, but the hail took it. You folks might remember this from the live stream. Just all of a sudden, these like softball size hailstones started falling out of the sky. And totally smashed the hell out of that windshield. I mean, it was done for. Yeah. Here's the location of that. Oh yeah, it was let's see, southwest or south. I'm sorry, southeast Colorado. See if I can find. I took some really cool pictures that day. Here's one. This was the storm that dumped the hailstorm or the hailstone on the window windshield. You could see here the full wrap on the bumper, which would indicate that this picture was taken prior to me hitting a deer and sending it 20 feet into the air. No bumper damage there, but really, really pretty storm there. That was probably one of my favorite pictures, even though it's not great. You know, from a photography standpoint, there's a lot wrong with this picture. The rule of thirds is compromised. It's a little bit washed out. It's a little artificial looking, but I'm not a photographer. I don't really care about that. Like if it looks cool on my phone, then it's good enough for me. Would I print this and put it on a wall? Hell no, but it still looks cool on your phone. And if you are just joining us, folks, we're just looking back at some cool storm photos from the year as we're taking a break from the severe weather coverage. This was actually that storm when we first caught eyes on it. This thing was dumping hail. It doesn't look like it, but this was actually dumping quite a bit of hail back on June 5th in southeastern Colorado. Let's see, what other cool photos do we have? Oh, this is a video clip. I've got photos of this. Folks, this is right off my camera. I haven't adjusted the color at all. This is literally what it looked like in real life on June 3rd. This was Melrose, New Mexico, just north of Roswell, New Mexico. And I mean, look at that. Like, that's literally what it looked like. There's no editing here at all, straight off of the iPhone. This was an abandoned house and some modest clouds underneath a beautiful sunset. And I don't know what was going on with this house, but there was a battery-powered radio in there. And I don't know if I have video of it or not. There's a battery-powered radio in there that was actually on a radio station. But there was nobody in it, so no trespassing. No, I didn't go in it, but I did stick my head in there because I heard music. I'm like, what the hell? So I stuck my head in there, and like there was no sign of life in there whatsoever. Like no homeless person, no trash, no anything. But there was like an old radio with working batteries, which means that somebody obviously would have recently had to have been there like within the past like day or two. So I don't know if somebody was living there and all they had was a radio, or if somebody just left it there to be creepy. I don't know, but it was really strange. I did check inside though. I poked my head in because I was a little bit worried that maybe somebody was in there and like dying or something, but I don't know. That was just a strange situation. Let's see, what else do we have? We have this freaking absolute unit of a storm in Fort Sumner. This is New Mexico. This is without any sort of color added. We've actually got a fire ongoing here feeding into it, but look at this. This was just a beautiful storm. This is back on June 3rd. There was a lot of fires out here that day because of lightning. It was very dry out, and the lightning was starting a lot of fires. And you can see this smoke is going up into the inflow of this storm, which is really cool. And yeah, we'll get back to severe weather coverage here shortly, folks, but there's no severe thunderstorm warnings. So we're just looking at some cool photos just for something different here. This was from that same storm. This is a super wide angle. This is about 180-degree panorama from the GoPro 360 camera. That was just a massive storm. And then I took this photo, which has been slightly edited, but this was underneath the storm. So I thought this was a really cool photo as well. You might remember that was live streamed. That was a very, very nice day. And let's see here. I think I've got a clip. I do have a video clip. Here's a clip driving into it. I mean, just look at the how massive that thing is. That was a pretty big hail producer. I think there was golf ball to tennis ball size hail falling out of that as well. There's Michael Cook. It's a pretty trustworthy super storm chaser. Let's see if we can go back a little ways. I found this cat in Roswell at the Chili's, just staring me down. Apparently, the cat here's a picture of this cat, or a video clip of this cat. This cat like lives outside the Chili's. Like the people that live in, or the people that work at Chili's told me that this cat has been outside in the parking lot every single day for like the past 6 years. So this cat just like lives in the Chili's dumpster or something, I guess. Oh, let's see here. I'm trying to remember when a lot of these were taken. Obviously, there's a date on them, but God, now we're getting back into May already. I'm just looking for something interesting. Looks like May might have been a little bit slow. The end of May. Ah, shoot. Yeah, these are. I don't have a whole lot on my iPhone because I was using the other phone at the time. There's this was shot through the windshield. Literally just took my phone and took one shot, and that was it. And that's what I got. This was the May 4th Kroll tornado. It's the one that we just drove into. There's another one. This has been stolen on the internet about 16 million times, but I have since added the watermark "Do not broadcast." Apparently, some people don't know what that means. But this is a cool. Oh, is this a video clip? I can't tell. Is this a clip or not? Hang on. It's not. This is what a tornado looks like from about 30 feet away. Okay, so maybe more like 50 feet away. We were about 50 feet away from the base of this tornado, it would appear. I am not zoomed in, and this is an iPhone shot. Literally, right before we backed up from that May 4th tornado, I went like this in the seat and took one shot, and that's what we got. That's right before the window got broken. That was a fun storm chase. I really enjoyed that one. I don't have a whole lot in my iCloud library. Pretty much all in Lightroom. The video clip. Here's some hurricane stuff. See if this will actually play. Here's Drew, ratchet strapping a surge camera to a pole. It was pouring rain. No, there's our surge camera that was streamed into the Radar Omega app. They just totally start walking away too. Like they're like, screw this guy with the camera. Like we're just gonna walk away. I'm like, okay, cool. So I guess we're done. That was fun. We streamed, put a lot of these hurricane recording instruments here with Radar Omega into the path of Hurricane Ian. That was a pretty successful mission. There's one of the bridge style units. Here's a better look at one of the bridge clamps. So that's a cyclone port unit with a pan tilt zoom camera, anemometer, battery pack. Let's see here. I just don't have a whole lot in my my iCloud thing, surprisingly. Oh no, it's the ice cream truck videos. Oh boy, hold on. I gotta see if these are. I gotta see if these are self-incriminating. So you might. I can't show the entire video because it includes us making fun of a driver that made a very, very bad decision. But turn around, don't drown, right? So check this. I had to cut the first part of it, but you can see this guy in the Honda CRV. Drew and I were talking about this on the last live stream. This guy literally just drove into this like giant lake that was flooded out. This was a big roadway flood after Hurricane Ian. This guy, right after, a moment later, he literally makes his girlfriend, wife, whatever, lady friend get out and start pushing while he sits there and yells at her how to do it. So we're driving away, whatever, and he's off there in the flooded area. And I think, yep, there she is. She's out of the car in the pink there. He gets out. You could hear him screaming at her. She's trying to push. He's getting back in the car. She's doing all the work, and he like they flooded the car. She's doing it though. She's barely moving that car, so good for her. That was turn around, don't drown. Don't be like that guy, or you'll end up on the internet. Oh boy. Oh, here's my kid. Hang on. That's my kid sitting in my car. That's pretty cute. This is the old vehicle, obviously, by the hideous green wrap. This was actually prior to having a whole lot of equipment in it, too. Let's see, what else do we got? Still no severe warnings in effect. Just trying to, if you are joining us, we're doing coverage, but I'm also trying to just go through and do some show and tell for something different. Here's some roadway flooding in Fort Stockton, the best place in the world. This was the news of the day. I mean, this isn't that exciting. Oh, hey, I got a headlight out. This wasn't that exciting, but it was kind of noteworthy. Yep, got a headlight out. I forgot about that. That headlight was out for about 2 months too. But this had all washed out. There was actually quite a bit of ponding down here. This was back in October. I really enjoy flash floods. To me are interesting, so um, I was pretty excited when I saw that. We'll do a couple more here, and then we'll do a recap on the severe event. Just looking through here, and I'm not seeing anything interesting. That's a bird. Man, it is a slow, severe weather day when we're showing pictures of birds on the car. think I got a good lightning shot here, right? I think we got some intense cloud to ground lightning. This is a clip from a stream back in early November. And if I remember right, there's a giant CG strike somewhere down there. Watch and see what happens. So I don't even know what happens. I don't even know why I have this screen recorded, but I assume we'll find out maybe. Maybe. Yep, there it is. Look at that lightning bolt over here on the left side. We were in Texas. It was an awesome lightning strike. I wish the camera would have been pointed farther to the left. That one startled me a little bit, if I remember right. Hurricane Nicole. This is some of the surge camera locations we'd placed out with Nicole. And when we had placed one of these surge cameras, the water... is this after? No, this is... we were going to place one here, but there was already a lot of beach erosion, so we didn't. That's right. I thought this was after. So here's another one of our surge cameras that was streamed into the Radar Omega app. This is not the one that fell into the ocean. Folks, remember there's a clip on the internet. One of them got sucked into the ocean live on stream. It was pretty cool. Pretty intense. And what's cool about these cameras is sometimes we find treasure hunters out there. This is the camera here specifically that fell into the ocean. This whole like beach access got eroded, and there was this guy out metal detecting, streamed live in the Radar Omega app. Pretty exciting. Tornado watch got issued here. We'll update you with that here momentarily. Here, this is I think. Oh yeah, this is me with Reed. Yeah, this is one. Yeah, so this is the right video. So Reed found me, and this is Reed and I took a walk out here onto this beach access that had eroded. So the camera was out here. There was a pier and stairs here, but you can see that it's fallen into the ocean. It's no longer there, and that's where that camera was, and it's totally gone. The storm took it. We'll get to that tornado watch here in just a moment, folks. All right, so that's show and tell. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's try to get that tornado watch. It's going to take a minute to populate into Radar Omega because the Storm Prediction Center has to push that data out. Why is my computer frozen? Sometimes it's a little bit, they're a little slow doing that. See if I can pull up a tweet. I don't know why my computer is being like this. There it is. Gosh dang it. Somebody call Tim Cook and tell him to come fix this Mac. I don't know what's going on today. We're only at 5% CPU usage. Here's our tornado watch. It actually goes from the Memphis area all the way down to Natchitoches and Alexandria. Natchez includes Vicksburg. Doesn't really include much of Mississippi yet. Later on today, we'll probably see another watch get issued here for central Mississippi. Right now, this is the only tornado watch in effect. So a few tornadoes likely. Hail up to ping pong ball size hail and scattered wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. And that will populate here on Radar Omega soon. Oh boy, we got our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day. Let's go ahead and cover that, folks. I'm going to take, we're going to go stream for about 7 more minutes, and then I'm going to take a break and go to get lunch from the only place in town to get it. And then you'll be able to continue watching me here on Radar Omega's live stream. Myself and Drew, what the hell was I doing? Oh, myself and Drew are going to be covering these severe storms. Yeah, oh, that's why. Adobe is doing something in the background. I'll fix that. No, Drew is not live, folks. We will be live over there at 3:15. Here's a severe thunderstorm warning that got issued for 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for Lake... No, that's not. Beauregard Parish and Newton County. Newton County, Texas, and Beauregard Parish, Louisiana, until 3:30 p.m. A severe thunderstorm is near Fields. It's moving northeast at 40. Winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, or up to 60 miles per hour. That's the storm right here. But Maryville, just north of DeQuincy, DeRidder. This is a pretty rural area, it looks like. But this yellow box here is under a severe thunderstorm warning. And these red boxes here, all these red shaded counties, that's our tornado watch. When does that go till? 9 p.m. Central. All right, folks, let me get the Radar Omega YouTube link. So that we can get you folks all switched over to that here in just a little bit. Seriously though, thank you folks for coming and checking in with me. I appreciate it. All of our super chatters, PayPal donors, channel members, moderators, admins, and such. You folks are supporting us even just by watching and liking the video. And I haven't been told anything, so I'm assuming that car will not be done tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, today, but I was told should be done tomorrow now, for sure. Which I do believe that because I did put eyes on it yesterday, and they're just doing the suspension work on it now and control arms and stuff on that car. It's not a big deal. It's just a matter they just need to get it in for an alignment. I gotta pin this here. All right, I just pinned the stream here with Radar Omega in the chat. So definitely go over there and check out the rest of what we're going to be doing. But even if I don't have my car, we're going to use a backup tomorrow for the snowstorm. I'm just going to have to go buy a power inverter, I guess, at Walmart that plugs into the cigarette lighter to keep the streaming stuff charged. Whatever. But we will be up in southwest Wisconsin near Madison for a snowstorm tomorrow that looks like it's going to impact the commute in the morning. So I'm going to make a mobile order. Unfortunately, I am stuck with McDonald's because that's all that we have in this town. The studio is located in southern Wisconsin here in a town with a population of about 800 people, I believe. God damn it. So folks, that's really going to be about it for me. Again, you can go switch over to Radar Omega's channel and we will cover this more in depth. Just trying to make this order before I close anything out. Again, this yellow box here in the middle of the screen near Kirbyville, Texas, south of Rose Pine, Louisiana, north of Quincy, Louisiana. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. That's the only one we've got right now. Yeah, I'm just going to get a cheeseburger with nothing on it. That's usually pretty safe. I hate McDonald's too. Like, I really can't stand it. They don't even have any good deals right now. Response is illegal. That's literally what they just told me at the top. Response is illegal or invalid. What the, like, what are you, the police? McDonald's telling me that my response is illegal. What the heck does that even mean? Like, come on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put our national composite on here. But again, very heartfelt thank you. Sorry that I'm not out there, folks. I feel like I'm letting a lot of you down. I belong out there. I should have been out there. This one was out of my control. I have a backup vehicle literally sitting in the driveway, but I didn't equip it because I was told that the car would be done. And then I go to pick up the car and it's not done. So if I would have been told that it wasn't going to be done, we would have had it equipped. Whatever. It is what it is. Things happen, I guess. So we'll be out there for snow tomorrow. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, they were looking like big severe weather days, but now the Storm Prediction Center is kind of like saying the heck with it. I don't know what to think of Monday, Tuesday, but I think we'll try to be out there for that. Well, we will be out there for that if it is something to be out there for. So go over and check out the Radar Omega live stream, folks. I would really appreciate it. Supporting that channel and watching that video is also supporting me because we're partners. You know, we are all equally invested here into the weather enterprise. So thank you for supporting all of our channels, folks. And take care. I'm going to get lunch.